remember the chat on here. Hello, Del Boy. So you join me on board the Northlink boat from Orkney to Aberdeen, but we have a bit of an issue. Nasty wind, do they? The video arc, yes. So basically, I got on this boat at midnight last night for the overnight boat down to Aberdeen, and it should dock at 7 AM, and it's now, I don't know what time it is, I'm losing the will to live. I think it's 11:30, can't remember. Thanks Wendy Hopkins. Not a lot I can do about it. We're about a mile out of Aberdeen Harbour, and as you can see behind me, I don't need to flip the camera, it's very foggy, and although obviously modern boats can navigate through fog, they can't navigate safely when they get into port. So the Port Authority is basically saying, because visibility is less than 200 metres, that it's not safe for this humongous ferry to dock and get us all off. So until it clears, we're stuck here. So yeah, it's a bit frustrating. I've got basically nearly an 8-hour drive down to see my family in Leicestershire. Don't think that's going to happen today. I think I'm going to be booking a hotel somewhere around Cumbria for tonight. Yeah, it is what it is, and can't do anything about it. There's no point stressing. But thanks for 23 of you joining this waffle. Thank you. So for comedy value, that sort of makes good comedy value, doesn't it, when the foghorn goes? Pity I can't paste a picture of your new car on here. Yes, Ian of Just Get a Tesla, bless him, he's waiting for me. I might as well let it out of the bag now. Get myself a Tesla from Tesla Aberdeen. My appointment was at 10 o'clock. I'm obviously a little late, and Ian has been very good enough to chat to the guys there, and they've just said any time between now and 5:30. Hopefully I'm off this boat by 5:30 tonight. I've just thought, what's going to happen if I get stuck on this boat? Anyway, yeah, you'd think, would they divert to another port? Don't know really. Are they just going to sit here, I think? Model bound for Monty. Yes, Sharon, that's basically one of the reasons is dog mode. And when we went to Spain December, January, February this year in the Nero, which performed amazingly, it just wasn't big enough with all of our stuff and the dog stuff in the back. It was rammed. So that's why I really decided to go for a Model Y, which you all know, those that watch my YouTube videos will know that's something I've had an itch I wanted to scratch for a long time. I think the bloke with the horn is watching to wait to speak. Have a safe trip. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing. The appointment was at 10 o'clock for the handover. I'm going to do a video about the whole process of buying from Tesla, which is going to be the future, folks. Well, it's already here, but other franchise dealers and manufacturers could learn a lot from the Tesla experience. It's just all done on the app. I haven't test driven the Model Y. I've read enough reviews, and I've watched a good channel to subscribe to is Ian at Just Get a Tesla. Got that in quick, didn't I, Ian? And so that, I'm watching other YouTubers, it just ticks all my boxes. So like I said, everything's been on the app. I've even taken my vehicle in part exchange, and obviously I know the value of used vehicles. So my EMV 200 that I've had for nearly 3 years is being sold in part exchange. That will all come out in another video as to the amount. But the amount they offered was a lot more than I think it's worth in the trade. So I should just, yeah. Watch out for icebergs. Blue with the white trim. Narrow boat long pod. I did fancy the blue one. Mrs. P is fed up with blue. I love my blue E Niro, and I would have had a blue one. Like Ian, I've just got a Tesla. Well, check him out on YouTube, folks. He's really, really good to watch. Ian's just had a dual motor in blue with a black interior. So yeah, Sharon, mine is over £40,000, so I will be paying the luxury car tax next year. So this tax is £10. But you know what? Life is too short, and the taxation thing might change to now or next year, who knows. Divided between home and yourself, I'm going to get shouted at. Model YA, nice. Okay. Divided between home, I don't quite understand that, the video arc. Divided between home and yourself. Okay, I don't know. Electric Mike, hello. Skyview Aviation, hello. NCB Model Y time it is. So basically what I've gone for, yeah, I'm still on the ship, Electric Mike. You'll hear the foghorn in a minute. And I think that's the sun. Yeah. It would be good if he's trying to blow the fog away with sound. What's this message that's been held for review? It's darker now than 11 o'clock last night. It is eco-terrorist, yeah. Right, how do I get back to the comments? Bear with. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. Bear with. Hang on. I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, I think we're back. Yeah, it was very light last night, and that's and some other bits will come in the future video about this trip. Why not have EV5? EV5. I like the tech on Tesla. I just think they're still at the forefront when it comes to software. And well, yeah, I know I've got a warranty, but I just fancied the Tesla. It's an itch I wanted to scratch. Hyundai N-Line in matte. Why would you say life's too short? Yeah, I agree. So we are at summer solstice, aren't we? Longest day today, or last night today. So it never really gets dark this far north on UK mainland. An itch I wanted to scratch, perfectly put. Thank you, Ian. So yeah, it's quite warm here. It's not cold. There's no wind blowing, which for me is very unusual. But until this burns off, we ain't going anywhere. I did have a look at the BBC Tesla app, no, the Met Office app, and it said it was going to clear by 2 PM. So I could be on here for another 2 hours. And as you can see, the engines are on. The back end there. And we're just sitting stationary with the chuffing gate diesel engines pumping stuff out, which just grieves me, it really does. Well, they can't make these into battery ones, hybrid ones. Sunny, oh, thank you, Michael Good. Sunny day here. Cheers, thanks. Will you get rid of your E-Niro sometimes, Wendy Hopkins? No. Being on Orkney, we both need a car. I've got no plans to sell the E-Niro. It's just such a good EV. It's just not quite big enough. You'd think so, Electric Mike. with GPS, I mean, they can land aircraft in the fog, but I'm guessing it's, you know, you can't do an emergency stop or change direction quickly in a big ferry, and it's not the captain's decision, it's the harbour master. Their rules are, if visibility is less than 200 metres, they stop all big ships coming in and out of the harbour. Although Ian from Just Get a Tesla has seen smaller boats going in and out okay. So I'm guessing it's something to do with the size and the stopping distance and manoeuvrability. I'm guessing that's the reason. Yeah, you see, that's a good point, Sharon. I do quite fancy vehicle to load on some of the Hyundais and the Kias. That would have been useful. I don't do camping, but sometimes we go to some of the northern isles in Orkney. It'd be nice to plug in a kettle or a toaster or something and do some cooking, but it's very, very rare. And as regards plugging in the house, I've got that much battery storage, I'll probably never use it. So would have been nice to have, but wasn't a real biggie for me, because I don't do camping as much as Mrs. P would love to go camping a lot more often. Hello and sunny here in Lincolnshire. Thank you, Rob Link, to you. There's always two beeps. Ian Sinclair, exactly, life's too short. Teslas are a bit too minimalist in the cabin for me, enjoying Model Y. Yeah, I do like the buttons in my e-Niro, but we'll see how we get on. Like you said, life is too short. We now have a Niro EV, says Eco Terrorist, and it's a lot bigger than the old one. Okay, yeah. I just wish they'd done a bit more with the efficiency and not made it less efficient than the old e-Niro. I just don't understand it. It doesn't seem much of a progression. Looks nice, but when you become an EV nerd, you just want efficiency, which is why, unlike Ian of Just Get a Tesla, who's gone for a dual motor, I've gone for the rear wheel drive long range. So it's a single motor on the back axle, long range, bigger battery, because it's more efficient, and I'm just a nerdy efficient EV nerd. And we never get any snow in Orkney, and we hardly ever get any frost. I've done my whole track day phase in my life about 15 years ago, midlife crisis, had a Lotus Elise, enjoyed track days. I just want to poof along at the speed limit when driving down south and be as efficient as possible. So there you go. I'm missing these comments. Michael, probably an issue because of the smaller craft and safety. Yeah, I think so. Wasn't as foggy as this in Fraserburgh, thanks. Got a Model 3, Mike. Sure, love the Tesla. Wow, a new one, yes. Sausage fingers. I'd really love to buy the Fisker. Oh, I wouldn't. Yeah, I'd be very worried about buying one without a warranty. But yeah, and parts, not just having somebody to cover it, but getting the parts to fix it. Yeah, Eco Terrorist, my Lotus Elise was my midlife crisis car. It was a 53 plate with just a little 1.8 Kent engine, K-series engine. Love that thing. No power steering, no servo assisted brakes, bare bones, had electric windows, but what a great handling car. Really, really enjoyed it. Took it around some track days at Silverstone and Rockingham and Donington Park. Loved it. So I got that out of my system. Beautiful car. Currently getting 340 miles from the Kona. Nice. Yeah, Kona Hyundai, efficient heroes other than Tesla. Wendy's got the new Niro EV, average 4 miles per kilowatt hour. Yeah, there you go. They are so super efficient. Rob Link, to you, does it have the indicator stalks or buttons? So the new Model Y, Juniper as it's called by the Tesla Arctic, Tesla never actually called it the Juniper, has got an indicator stalk, which again I think is a sensible thing. Narrowboat long pod, He's got a 4.5 this week over 140 miles. Very good. The harbour access looks very tight on the map. Yeah, it is NCB. It is tight. And we're going nowhere fast. Anyway, that's the plan for today. I'm going to meet up with Ian, and I'm also going to meet up maybe with Chris Ramsey, my good friend Chris and Julie of Pole to Pole. He lives in Aberdeen and he wants to meet up and have a coffee and have a catch up, which I'm really looking forward to. The bloke is a legend. Well, both of them, him and Julie, are legends who drove from the North Pole to the South Pole in that slightly modified Nissan Aria last year. So looking forward to catch up with Chris. Interestingly, this September, can you believe it? It's 10 years since me and Chris drove a 24 kilowatt hour Nissan Leaf from John O'Groats to Land's End. We stopped at Land's End for 40 minutes and we turned round, this is in 2015 folks, and drove all the way back to John O'Groats. I think we were driving for something like 48 hours. It was bonkers. We didn't stop to sleep, but on the way back we took it in turns to catnap on the back seat in between rapids. Stupid thing to do, but we were trying to prove a point and set a bit of a world record, but that was 10 years ago. So it'd be really good if me and Chris could replicate that in possibly some comparable electric vehicle, can't think what, to try and see how things have progressed for a certain manufacturer in 10 years. So yeah, it'd be good to see if we could organise something like that, but we don't know. Nothing's concrete yet. I'm missing all these, sorry. As regard vehicle to load a Tesla Model 3 battery. Yeah, I don't want a Dacia, sorry. There's no two ways about it. They're a cheap version of Renault, and the petrol Dacias are not built very well. They tend to be rotting quite quick. How does the Ford Explorer get more miles per kilowatt hour than the ID4, which it's based on? I don't know. That's interesting. Wouldn't enjoy Tesla or Volvo. No speedo directly in front. Well, I think you get used to it. I did drive a Model 3 for quite a while when it was a demo car for Reflex. You do get quite used to it. It's, yeah. I still need to drive, just go to Tesla's Model Y. I haven't been able to yet. Interested to see how it compares with the old one. Okay. Yeah. Two. He's only done one. He's only done one beep. Perhaps his beeper's broken. Yeah, it was a 24 kilowatt hour Leaf, Ian. And we tried all sorts of things. We rapigated quite early on because we did something like 33 back-to-back rapid charges, and boy did that battery get toasty. And we did all sorts of things. We put the air conditioning on full blast, bearing in mind it was September. It wasn't hot and it wasn't cold, but it wasn't warm, and we had the aircon on full blast. In our stupid mindset was that the cold air would sink to the bottom of the car, filter through the carpet, filter through the metal, filter into the battery compartment casing and help cool the battery. Total waste of time. All we ended up doing was having frozen feet, and my heels were like blocks of ice. So we tried all sorts of weird, wonderful stuff to try and keep the battery cold. That was 10 years ago in a 24 kilowatt hour Leaf, but it was a good laugh. 10 years already, you're making me feel old. I'm only 23. You're watching at 13. Wow. Thank you for that, Abbey Tech. 80 miles on a motorway, no way unless you're doing 55. Yeah, 55, 60. Yeah. And you're still floating around the ship. I'm still floating. We should have driven off at 7 AM. Mr. Stovey's what about the new Leaf? I don't know, I've not really looked into it. I'm not quite sure about the back end of that car. The front looks nice. It's right at the side, but I'm not quite sure about the back end. Yeah. But there we go. I just thought I'd NCB. Yes, I'm on the Jackland. I never know how you say it. Hjaltand. The Hamnavo Jackland, I don't know. My connection was an appointment at Tesla to pick up my new vehicle, which was 10 o'clock, but they've just said come any time, so they are aware that I've been delayed, so it's not a biggie. So I haven't got a connection, it was an appointment, so I was planning to drive down to my mum's today. It's about a 7.5 hour drive from Aberdeen down to Leicester. But by the time I've finished, well, it just depends when I get off the boat. But if I'm still on this boat at 2 p.m, I'm going to book a hotel around Cumbria area for tonight. I don't need to dash to Leicester because I'll be too tired. Yeah, I agree. It does look a bit like an American 1990s car in the style in the new Leaf. Is it the white? Yes, it is. Video coming, of course. You did not get my point. Battery 8K, car 10. Will buy the car with 23 kilowatt hour more for more than 2K. Don't have to drive the rubbish days. Yeah, okay. Thing is, Sharon, do I want loads of cars parked up on my drive just connected to the house? I suppose if you lived in a big property with lots of space and you could hide it away somewhere, yeah, but it's just not a nice look, is it, having a car parked on your drive permanently just for battery storage? Just buy battery storage. But I do take your point, I do know what you're saying. 2015 24 kilowatt hour, they've got 82 miles last week, no range, but yeah, they are brilliant, it really are. The 24 kilowatt hour 6.6 Leaf I sold to a good friend, Karen. She still loves her Leaf, and driven carefully, and she's an amazing driver. She can see at 80 mile range at a full charge. Mr. Stovies, many years ago, managed a large hotel in Aberdeen and had a house in Leicester. Quite a drive it is. I've done it by my reckoning over 60 times since I moved to Orkney back in 2014, 11 years ago. So I've done the route over 60 times in all manner of cars, from Teslas down to Citroen C0s. So everything with 50 mile range right up to something with 300 mile range. So I do know the road quite well. I always pick the M6 and cut across Stoke on the A50 and then just down the M1. I tried the A1 once, but it was too many islands for me, the A1. And there's better infrastructure up the M6. Yeah, that's really good, Phoenix. Yeah, and the 24 kilowatt hour Leaf is a much better car than the 30 kilowatt hour. The 30 kilowatt hour Leaf will cook itself, degrade heavily, and then have slightly less range than a 24 kilowatt hour Leaf. So if you're looking for a cheap used Nissan Leaf, go for the 24 kilowatt hour. Yes, I'm going to document it. You can't film with Tesla, but I'm going to film as soon as I come out. And my first thoughts and ability to pick up how to function all the basic functions on the Model Y, I will cover in a video. And I'll also I'm thinking about hooking the phone up, doing a live stream on the way down to chat with you guys. So yeah, I'm going to try that. It would be good to move to LFP battery on the Tesla. Yeah, I think there's too much hype about LFP and the other type of battery chemistry where it doesn't like to be charged 100%. A bit like me in here, I just use it. I don't get too hung up about percentages and charging speeds, etc. Leaf 24 hour Ascenta Plus, nice. The Ascenta Plus had the 6.6 onboard charger. It was an option, so you've got the nice wheels as well. Nice. Steve P. I've not really looked at the new Leaf, not too keen on its bottom. I like cars with nice bottoms. But yeah, I don't know yet. Thank you, Aardvark. The video arc. 17-inch alloys, nice. None the 20% like the Nero, yeah. Oh, thank you, GT. Yes, yeah, that's right. You're quite right. Well, you see, you've got to see it from Suren's point of view, that if they just opened up online bidding to members of the public and they were just messing about and just didn't show up and didn't pay, then obviously it's going to mess their admin up. And yeah, if they knew they weren't going to get any messes, they'd do it, which is why they want people physically in the hall, leaving a £500 deposit, and that stops people messing about. But yeah, it is what it is. And Motability is just with for dealers only. You're right. Thank you, Wendy. About the vlog reminds me of learning sound signals at sea. Oh, okay. So there's one prolonged blast every 2 minutes. No automation in those days. Wow, Ian Sinclair, that's amazing. Well, it sounds like one long blast and one short one. But the last one was just a short one. So maybe someone's having to press a button. I don't know. But don't seem to be having much change. And the sun was there. The sun's now disappeared. But it all depends on the fog actually in the harbour. So they could navigate through this. It's just when they get to the harbour. So they're waiting for the OK from the harbour master in Aberdeen that it's safe to come in. So if the fog clears in Aberdeen, then we can start moving, I'm guessing. It's a professional service, not eBay, so attending in person shows a serious intent. Correct. We'll have to go soon. So we're out of fuel. Yeah. And the thing is, you know, that is the dirtiest bunker diesel. It's the crudest form of fossil fuel that ships and ferries are allowed to burn. And it's just not right, is it? It really isn't. We should be following the Norwegians with electric ferries. But yeah, so that's, and the engine's just running, propellers are just running to keep us stable, I'm guessing. And you got the old, well, the other side, some sort of side thrusters, I think. That might be the cooling for the engines, I don't know. Perhaps you seafaring folk might know more, but I think they're stability thrusters to keep us from drifting and just to keep us on the straight and narrow. But there's a lot of frustrated people sort of giving up the will to live. Yeah. There we go. Right, I'm going to sign off. Complaining about the inconvenience of EVG, you're stuck on a ferry. You see, here we have got winch only. So if you were really wealthy, you could perhaps call in a helicopter. It's a pity I don't know Matt Armstrong really well, because apparently he's taking helicopter lessons. Could get Matt Armstrong to come down and pick me up, or come up and pick me up. Leicester lad. Right. Use bunker fuel on those ferry ships with international. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. There's something else I didn't know, Phoenix. I thought it was all bunker fuel because it was so filthy. Bon voyage. See you later. Enjoy your new whip, JP. Thank you, folks. I'm going to sign off. Thanks for watching. The last 29 minutes has wheeled away some of the time for me on board the ferry, waiting just a mile off Aberdeen to get off this boat. See you later, folks. Thanks for watching.